Best-selling romance novelist Nora Roberts knows a thing or two about adult books. She has written more than 225 romance novels and sold more than 500 million books. When the Patmos Library in Michigan was defunded by the city council for carrying a graphic novel called Genderqueer for being too sexual, many people stepped in to donate. One of those people was Nora Roberts herself, donating 50 grand to the cause, which is the limit on the GoFundMe donations. So the library holds 144 of her very sexual titles, and only 90 books containing any LGBTQ plus content are referenced. She said, quote, "Libraries are treasures, opening the door to books and stories for all. Librarians to me are the guardians of those stories. I find the idea of librarians who offer community services beyond reading, facing threats and attacks, a community library facing defunding, both appalling and sad. It's an honor for me to stand up for the Patmos Library and its staff," end quote. What are we all talking about? What do you think about this?
Well, I think that it's very unfortunate. I mean, first of all, it's so communistic, right? I mean, they're like segregating and telling you what you can and what you cannot read. And, think about all of the young people that are struggling right now that have nothing to identify with.
Yeah.
That think that they're sinning, or that they're
different, or they're
different,
go to
or they're
hell.
Crazy, or they're going to go to hell, or they're just not worth living.
Yeah.
I mean, the suicidal rate is just terrible.
And it's going to get worse. And it's going to get with stuff like this, telling a kid.
Well, the thing is that at least if they were accessible, someone that was struggling with something that they had no one to talk to about, at least could go to the library and take out a book and read about it.
Yep, I did.
And identify.
I did. It was I think it was special interest or something. It was like a weird bookshelf, but I knew where it was. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I think the Black Bible or the Satanic Bible was there too. I mean, this is the truth. This is the 90s in a library in Jersey. It is what it is. Yeah. And, but I remember going and just looking for a book, anything that had a lesbian character, because I felt so different from everyone.
Exactly.
But more so, I thought I was nuts. I thought there was something mentally wrong with me. And to be able to read somewhere else that I wasn't and somebody else felt the same way gave me that glimmer of hope, right? That I wasn't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, that I was just a big old dyke.
Well, I'm gonna put something a little bit like cuter on that because you don't look like a big old dyke. But then really, what does a big old dyke look like, right?
Yeah.
No,
it's true.
I mean,
and to each their
there
own.
are names for labels, for everything, for this, that, them, they, he, she, whatever. It all comes down to this. We need to be comfortable in our skin. We need to be able to own who we are and be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no matter what that looks like.
And so by limiting what we can read is not the answer.
At all. And go Nora Roberts for donating that 50 G's. Now this library will be able to be open till the end of next year. Now what happens after that, who freaking knows? But
we'll talk about that.
But we'll talk about when that happens. But this is what the kids are dealing with here in Florida as well. They pulled out a book from Jazz Jennings, I think her last name is, right? And her book is I Am Jazz. And it was just a beautiful story about her journey through her transition. It's not sex. There's no sex in it. It's not that kind of a book, but they took it out. They also took out a book from Maya Angelou. They're just like, nope, you don't get to read that. You don't get to see what history was about.
Again, I have to think about our youth. A very, very dear friend of me, I won't mention any names, but her daughter came out at 11 years old and said, "Mom, I'm not a girl. I'm a boy." And if it weren't for jazz, that little person would not have anything to identify with. If it wasn't for the jazz story, there was something that she could relate to.
And even the mom relate to. Seeing how the family dealt with jazz, the family that was able to go, okay, where do I go from here? Because this is a new topic for the whole family.
As it turned out, the kid was able to meet jazz.
No way.
Seriously.
You just gave me goosebumps.
Seriously.
That is so cool. And that probably changed the kid's life right there.
Immensely.
Wow. It let them know that they weren't alone.
And they're okay.
And that they're okay.
And they can be them.
Well, Jazz, we love you. Look, you're helping children everywhere you go. And books like this should not be taken out of our libraries. We need to do more. So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the Faye What Show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there. so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo, so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ+ media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on The Faye What Show. Get the week started with me.